Daniel Perez.
And I'm Messi Morales, and we are Qualified Heroes.
That's right. It is Season 3, Episode 9, and we are here not just to talk about Star Wars. We're here to talk about House of Dragons and a lot more different news. So, before we get into the shows, which has its good and bads, depending on which one you're talking about, Messi. Oh, there was also a movie that came out. Messi, you saw the movie. I'm surprised you saw the movie, because you don't watch kid movies.
Well, you saw the movie too. So it can't be that surprise. So, Inside Out 2 came out last weekend, and wifey wanted to see it. So I was like, you know what? Let's go see it. Let's go watch it. And honestly, it was a good watch. It was funny. The jokes landed. It wasn't like those, the crappy Disney movies that they try to make it funny and then it doesn't work. This one did. One of the funniest part that I can remember, Anger, was like something that happened in the movie that is like, he goes, "Kill me now." Like you will never hear that in another
I think it was
kid's movie.
with the pouchy. I think it was with pouchy.
Yeah, with pouchy, something like that. He goes, "Kill me now," something like that. And I make the joke a lot, like I'm gonna kill myself, like kill yourself.
Yeah.
Like I make that joke a lot, and I noticed that I say it too much. But seeing that in a kids movie, it made me laugh.
I was surprised that was in a kids movie.
Right, in a kids movie, out of like all the freaking projects that there is going on a kids movie. But it was funny because, again, and I understand we're adults. It's not for us. But parents take your kids and they have to make something for the adults. A little bit. Just like sneak it in. And that a lot of jokes landed. The only sad thing about it is not as good as the first one. That's the only thing. But again, the first one is a really, really high bar. And this one is like really close. So I'm not saying it's a bad movie or like worse than the first one. It's just not as good as the first one.
The first one, yeah, no, exactly. The first one was better. I actually cried. I was actually tearing up. Me and my wife, we watched the first one the day before Inside Out 2. So we saw the first one. My wife is like straight up bawling half of the movie of Inside Out 1. I teared up when Bing Bong, and there was a couple other scenes. I was like, when she ran back to her family and they were all hugging and stuff. That was cute. Whatever. I teared up. But Inside Out 2, there was not. I know we got a couple friends who did, but to me, there was just not really those moments to where you could tear up.
There's relatable parts with the anxiety, like the anxiety attacks. Like
that was a really good scene. Towards the end, I thought was the best part of the movie versus the actual whole movie itself.
Yeah, because and they use every emotion in a very smart way, and in a funny way as well. Like
not
anxiety
every emotion.
Yeah,
boredom was like wasted emotion.
But it's boredom. It's like he's a boring character. Like that's his actual thing. He's boring.
I know, but did he ever get used? I don't think he got used. I mean, he might have got used one time.
He was used a couple times.
No, not a couple times. One time.
No, well, couple means two. So the only two scenarios that I can think of is when Riley was talking to like the famous girl, of the hockey team, and she was like freaking out, and Sadie was like taking over, and then she goes, "What'd I say?" And then Boredom goes, "Whatever, I'll show up." Like. That's one of the things. And the other one is at the very, very, very end of the movie that Riley is at the dining table with her parents, and then the mom goes, "Oh, how was your weekend?" And then the dad also asks the same thing.
Oh,
she goes,
yeah.
Boredom goes, "Okay, it was okay." That was the only two scenarios that I can think of. Boredom.
That was funny. That was funny because I do that all. I did that all the time as a kid. Sometimes I still do that. I try not to, but like I'll have the most like. Crazy thing that happens to me, and my parents will be like, "Oh, how would it go?" I'm like, "It's okay."
That's okay.
And then they get so mad at me. They're like, "Bro, what?"
that whole scene was like the best way to describe a female and a male brain that they work so differently. When the mom, they zoom into her mom's brain and they show her emotions, and her anxiety came out again. It's like, oh my god, she spent like 3 days and like this is all she's giving us. Okay, so like she started freaking out. But they went to the dad's side, and then same thing happened. But they go, okay, whatever, let's go back to the game. So like,
Dude, that's too funny.
so like the movie was good. The movie was really good. I do recommend.
Anger
Go
is my
watch it.
favorite emotion. I don't know
love anger.
why.
I am
but it's
anger
like
every
every
day,
time he
at all
talks,
times.
I start laughing. It's like,
That's
I'm
me.
gonna do something.
I'm
And like I don't know. I don't know why. It's just that the delivery of his lines are so good. I laugh. I laugh every single time Anger talks. And it just even more so that he blows up in flames. I don't know why, but it's funny to me. When like it could be the most small thing, and then you just see him blow up in flames. And it's funny.
Yeah, he's after the movie ended. Tanya Elise goes, I wonder which emotion is like driving you at all times. I'm like, anger is in the front seat.
Anger is 100% your number one
Anger
emotion.
is driving the car, and every other
Anger's just
emotion
like-
is in the back.
all the time on your thing.
Yeah, and I told her like her emotion is either joy, anxiety, and disgust. Like all those three characters are in her front seat.
Disgust.
So like, we all. It's funny like we all have different characters.
Yeah.
And the good thing about this movie,
You know what
that
I
it was
noticed?
really
You know what I noticed?
what?
I noticed this in the first movie. I wanted to see if anything changed in the second movie because she's older. I don't know. But it's still the same thing. In the parents' minds, all the emotions are the same gender. But in Riley's mind, there's both male and female emotions. I don't know what that means, but it's just something I noticed. And I was like, why is in the dad's mind they're all guys, like they all have the mustache. In the girl's mind they're all girls, but in Riley's mind it's both girl and guy emotions.
I don't know.
I have no theories for that, but it's just something I noticed.
Yeah, it's a really weird theory that people came up with, saying that she may be either a gay character or something, because that theory came out in the first movie when they realized the mom has all female. They look like her. But my theory is not that. My theory is each character fit in to each person's identity. So I feel that Riley hasn't really found her identity yet for her characters to look like her. Because if you see I don't know if you saw, there's a short of Inside Out, and that she brings a date. She has a date. And
I didn't even know there was a short.
Yeah, of course. Every Disney Pixar movie has a short.
I guess that's true.
But this short is Riley going on her first date, quote unquote. It's just they're hanging out, whatever, in a group thing. But it's a date because that's how the parents are seeing it. And the kid comes in, and then all his emotions look like him. So I'm guessing he found his identity of being the weird, not weird, but like this. A boy. He's a boy. Like all the boys go through this phase of like a dumbassery on his brain, and all the characters are dumbasses on his brain. So like I feel, my theory is that she hasn't found her identity for the characters who mimic her way that she is. That's my theory. I don't think it's like she's gay or like going through this thing, but like I don't know. I mean I could be wrong, but I think that's how the theory started.
I could see that. I see the low hanging fruit of saying she could be gay, but I don't think it was that either. I think I don't know. I feel like if it was, they would have already said something about that. But
Yeah,
I
because
haven't seen
if
any
you-
director say anything about that. So
Yeah, I don't, it's so unimportant that to give
it
her
doesn't even matter.
a sexuality thing. Like it's not even about her. It's not even about Riley. It's about the emotions that are
It's
going
about the
through Riley's
emotions.
head.
It's about the emotions.
So like, it's so minimal. And if they do something about it, I know people will be like 50-50 about it, like how everything is in this country. Everything is 50-50
people are
on
gonna be like,
everything.
yeah, and then other people are gonna be like, no,
Yeah.
Whatever. Doesn't even matter.
That's whatever.
It was just something I noticed.
But the movie's good.
I
Movie's
didn't
really
think
good.
about it. Movie's good. Go watch it.
It's good.
Anxiety is portrayed pretty good. First movie's good.
Yeah.
Justice for Bing Bong. Anyways, outside of Inside Out, going away from movies, we're going to talk... Actually, I'll just keep it on the movie topic. But going into the nerd fandom is... This hasn't been 100% confirmed, but there are various sources. I know you said you didn't know about this till like 10 minutes ago.
2 seconds.
But there's various sources saying that the Russo brothers...
Before we started recording. Yes.
2 seconds. That the Russo brothers are now on Captain America Brave New World, or whatever the title is. They've already changed the title multiple times. But on the Captain America project as editors. Which is interesting because the movie's already like done, basically, but then now they're having rewrites because apparently people didn't like the draft of the movie. So all this stuff is going on. But it's just weird. To me, it's weird that you bring in people, especially people that big, on a project so late. I don't know. I don't know about the filmmaking, I guess, process, but to me, it's like, why are you bringing in someone so late?
I don't know. The only thing that I can think of of a reason of why they're bringing someone again so big and so popular and so well known of their product is because this is their last resort to save the movie. Because, like you said, there were screenings, and it went really poor. It was really bad, and there was not a single good review about it. So they're looking for their last resort, and that's the Russo brothers. Because we all know when the Russo brothers are behind the chair, stuff gets done. It turns out to be good, and we have receipts. We have Civil War. We have Winter Soldier. We have Infinity War. We have Endgame. They're like one of the 4 greatest movies of the whole MCU are Russo brother movies. So like, my only thing is they're coming in is because they're in deep shit. That's it. That's the only explanation of why they're coming back. That's
probably what it was. They're like, break. We gotta push the red button, and the red button was the Russo brothers.
It's sad. It's very sad, but I feel it's sad, but I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad because since Phase 4 started, you can probably count how many projects were good with one hand.
Yeah.
So like, come on, they're like already like, sigue con la puya. They're like pushing it already. Like, they can't keep failing. They're losing money at this point. So like, they need the MCU gods. That's it.
Yeah.
They
need them.
They need them.
You know who needs them more? Blade. Blade needs the MCU gods. Because what is going on? They have now lost their second director, and they are now on their, I believe, their 6th writer. If I read that correctly.
They're about to lose their actor. Ali is gonna like.
He commented, but like it didn't really. There was like nothing that he could get out of it. It was like.
Yeah, he hasn't come out officially that he's out. As of right now, there's no official statement from either party, from him or MCU, that he's out of the project. But we have seen directors,
he said folks
writers,
are still looking for the secret sauce. That's all he said.
So like, okay, so I just found his quote. So I can't say his name. Marshala Ali, lawyer on the Blade delay. The deal was in 2019, and they still haven't showed it, which is pretty much the craziest thing in my personal experience, bro. I think the only project that was this long and it bombed anyways was The Flash. The Flash was announced before the show, and it just happened like a year or two from today. So like, I am praying that they figure it out. They figure it out, and then they don't follow the same steps as the Flash.
This is this is tough because they want to get this right. That's why I don't know. Kevin Feige has commented on Blade multiple times, and he's like, "We want to get this right." And Blade is a big character because they want this to tie into Midnight Suns, which they're looking for directors for, and all this stuff. So like, this is a pivotal movie, but like the lawyer said, and like you said, the last time this happened was with the Flash, and we can't even think of another movie that happened like this. 2 directors, 6 writers. Like, I is it the work culture there that they're gone? Like, what is it that makes the director and writer want to leave? Because the directors and writers should be the one in charge. So why would you want to leave? You're on mute.
Sorry. Let me open your world, your mind. Writers and directors, they're only in power when they're shooting, when they're actually doing something. Before, it's all the producer, Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige is really in charge of everything. So if a writer writes something and Kevin Feige doesn't like it, guess what? It's crap. It's crap. That's it. Give me a new thing. You gotta give me something that Kevin Feige will like. And it's a good thing, but it's leading up to being a bad thing at this point. Because again, 2019 was the movie was announced, and they haven't done anything about it. Every single script that's been announced, scrap. Every director, scrap. So I have no idea
So
what
it's
they're gonna
either
do.
it's either Kevin Feige has this vision for Blade that is like way out of
Only on
left
his head.
field,
It's only on
Yeah.
his head. It's only there.
or yeah, exactly. That's like only in his head, and people just don't know what he's looking for, or he has a very high bar or high standard, and the writers and producers and the writers and directors that are coming in are just producing crap.
Probably. Because again, it goes from Kevin Feige to like whoever's above him, because he's obviously Kevin Feige is like the main person of the MCU Marvel Studios, but obviously he has a
Yeah.
boss. And that boss
Yes,
boss
Bob.
has another boss. So like
That's Disney, the Disney boss. See, Bob
the
Iger,
mouse.
or
The
however you say
mouse
his name.
Yeah, Bob Iger. Yeah, the mouse. The mouse is the boss, and the mouse doesn't like what's happening. So
The mouse is the boss. You can't argue with the mouse.
you can't. You can't. You clearly can't. I don't know if you've seen South Park, but you clearly can't. The mouse always gets his way.
That's not part. That's funny. Okay, all right. Let's see. Before you want to talk about the good show, or you want to talk about the bad show first?
Let's keep with the good. Let's keep with the good. Let's keep the bad stuff for the end.
All right.
All right. Last Sunday, Father's Day, Son for a Son, the best title that you can give on a Father's Day. A Son for a Son, House of the Dragons is out. It came back after almost 2 years since the last season.
Yep.
And
2 years.
they came in strong. First episode, beautiful. From very moment that it started to the very end. Beautiful episode. And there's a lot of controversial topics or just communicating with other fans of the ending, which I love, because I feel
It
that
makes no sense. It makes no sense.
I feel that the ending was beautiful, and they obviously dumbasses, both of them. Cheese and I forgot. They have a name. I didn't know they have a name. They have a dual name.
They have names?
They have names.
I don't know.
It's called
The guard and the rat catcher.
but no, there's like the actual name for them. It's cheese and blood or something like that. I don't know. Whatever. Those two idiots, obviously they did the job wrong. Let's get it out of the way. They're dumbasses. But I feel that they killed a bigger target or a bigger fish or whatever you want to call it than Eamon.
They did.
I don't know.
But why would you do that?
Because again, it's a bigger thing. Like you're also gonna go to their brain. They're dumbasses. So you're gonna think like a dumbass. They probably thought, okay, so if I kill the son of the king, the heir of the throne, this is not just any random kid. This kid has value since the moment he was born. Like, value.
Yeah.
They probably kill him. They bring his head to Damon. He probably get like bigger gold, like bigger bags of gold. That's what I'm pretty sure that's what they thought.
That's probably what they thought.
But obviously that's not the case, because now Damon is screwed, because he went behind Rhaenyra's back to do this. So I don't know. I feel like they did a bad thing, but for the better, for the show, to make the show more interesting.
For the show, 100%.
Yeah,
no, 100%.
I'm not for killing kids. I'm not. Kill Eamon. Eamon's an adult. He lived long enough. For kids, bro, come on.
Bro, you could
so
literally
sad.
hear the
Bro,
when they were cutting off his head. I was like, oh my gosh.
And
honestly,
and
I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure it was actually the boy until she told.
She went to the
Allison. Because I was like, dude, I bet you they killed the wrong. Honestly, I thought they killed the wrong person. And then she's like, it was the boy, and I was like, oh, I guess it was the boy.
It was so sad because, in this episode, I know people give Aegon the worst of the worst. He's a douchebag. He is like doesn't care. He only cares being a king until the very last minute. But comparing fatherhood from Aegon and Viserys, I think Aegon was a better father to his son than if it was Viserys to him. Because I don't know if you remember on when Aegon was going to the council to meet with his group, he goes, "Okay, where is Jaehaerys, the son? I want to bring him. He's gonna be a future king. I want him to sit on this so he can learn something that he never did with his father." So like, you can tell that he was trying to do better.
Bro, when he goes, "Is a future king disturbing you?" I was like, "Damn, I can't even say nothing about that."
That was savage. That whole scene was.
Okay, but
I don't know.
Was he actually kind of a nice guy? Because he was listening to these villagers' requests, and he's like, "Yeah, we'll give it back to you. Sure, you can do that back."
He was like, "Oprah, you get a sheep.
Yeah.
You get a sheep. You get a sheep." Yeah. So he was different. So like he is not a smart king, and
he doesn't care about the politics of it.
He doesn't. He really doesn't. He just got king, and obviously he knows that he's going to war. But his mindset is, we got Vhagar, we got Aemon, the two most powerful people, or not people, like things, are on his side. So he doesn't care. The only one of the big reasons why Black Team has an attack is because of Vhagar. Vhagar is a war dragon, the biggest dragon, and Aemon is a really good swordsman. He knows how to fight. Yeah. He's been fighting his whole life. So like he's just there for the ride until the last moment that we saw the trailer. He goes, "I'm declaring war."
Bro, that preview. Woo!
I don't know if
he went crazy.
he,
Bro,
Next episode,
Rhaenyra, I think had one line the
yeah,
entire episode,
one line in one episode,
and it was fire. It was, oof, I almost cursed. It was powerful. Like you just saw her. The whole time you saw her mourning. You saw her when she saw the dragon wing and all this stuff. Every time she walks, honestly, this girl has a presence. Like you talk about like bad boss. This girl bad boss. She walks into that meeting, says one line, and then walks out. And it was just mic drop.
She wants Aemon. She won Aemon. She won says, Aemon. I want Aemon Targaryen. And then little Damon goes, okay, puts a little hood on, goes to the Red Keep, and hires those two very smart people, and then they killed obviously the wrong person. But a lot of things are also coming out that Alicent and Rhaenyra have obviously a very complicated relationship, but Alicent just came out being like the most hypocrite person ever. Because, I don't know if you remember, on the very first season, Alicent and Rhaenyra had a crush on Sir Colin. Or whatever his name is. His dumbass too. I hate him.
Yeah.
He's like the worst person on the show. He's literally the worst person on the show. They have this crush. Obviously, Sir Cole obviously picks Rhaenyra over Alicent. Not really like that, but they do stuff. They do stuff in the first season, and Alicent finds out, and then that's where everything happened. They broke up, all the friendship, whatever. But on the first episode, this girl's getting it on with Sir Cole.
Getting it on multiple times.
And she goes, oh, this is the last time. And then the next scene, they're like, I'm like,
well, as soon as she goes, this is the last time, me and Alicia turn to each other, we're like, it's not the last time. We just knew it wasn't the last time when she said it. We're like, alright, yeah, not happening.
Yeah, no, not happening. My wife, Tanya Lee's, she's obviously not on the green side, but she's on the Alicent side of getting sex. Actually, enjoyable sex. Let's put it like that. Because if you really think about it. Alicent only had one man all her life, which is Viserys. Yeah. As of right now, there hasn't been no proof that she slept around with other people while she was married to Viserys until he passed away.
Yeah.
Tanya Lees said, go get it. Go have fun. Enjoy it. Because sex obviously is a beautiful thing between a man and a woman, and whatever you're into. Tanya Lees is like,
okay. But why you gotta enjoy it? Why you gotta enjoy it with that person out of any other person that you could enjoy it with?
I don't know. Maybe she didn't like the guy jerking off to her feet. With the other strong.
Okay, but there's enough people in that kingdom that you could enjoy it with. That it doesn't have to be that specific person.
I think. Okay, so let's go. Okay, let's go back to Sir Cole. Sir Colin, whatever his name is, dumbassery 101. Every time he's in control or in charge of something happens. The very first time something happens that he's in charge, Viserys, the king, goes, Sir Colin, you have the King's Guard. Make sure that everything is good. Aemon lost an eye. The prince were fighting and he lost an eye. First time. The second time he's in charge, Sir Cole is in charge, and where is he at? He's in the room with Alicent. Best time ever, I guess. What happens? The king of the air dies. Nothing happens to him. He kills people in front of, like, in court. He killed people. He killed a guy on the court. He kills people everywhere.
Yep.
Nothing happens to him. So, like, I'm trying to understand what is the line that Game of Thrones is trying to build, because this guy has crossed many lines and passed, and He's
He's still in charge.
he's still in charge. I don't understand. Like he's just he's I don't understand. He's just a very very smart, not smart person at all. Like every time he's in charge, something happens bad, really bad. Not as bad as this one. Jaharis got killed on his watch while he was sleeping with Elsie. Sir Colin needs to die. Needs to die like ASAP. But he's not, because he is a key factor of why people love the show. Because he's so bad. People love how bad he is.
People love how bad he is.
Not as bad and like bad written. It's like,
yeah,
but like a bad character, like a bad person type of thing. I don't know.
I think I have a theory, because this episode was more focused on the greens than the blacks.
Yes.
And my theory is because of season 1 that it was mainly on the blacks and made the blacks look good and the greens look bad. I think this season is going to make the greens look good and the blacks look bad. And that way it makes the lines more blurred onto which side you're really at. Because most people are like, yeah, team black, Avi. Unless you're weird and you're like team green before the season started, then you're kind of weird. But I think they're going to blur those lines more after this season.
I agree. I agree because season 3 got renewed by HBO. So we know there's another third season. There's a third season coming.
Yeah.
And like you said, I think they're gonna do that, because what it's looking as of right now, green is winning. After what Eamon just did. Like green, go green. So as of right now.
That's why I'm wearing green. I purposely wore green today.
Sure.
Go green. No, I'm serious. I'm serious. I was like, what shirt should I wear? And I was like, oh, I got a green shirt. Go green.
Nah, I'm black team all the way.
You just reminded me right now.
Black team all the way.
So
black team.
I'm still black, but I think very soon I'm gonna be green very quickly. So
yeah,
this is me reading the future.
You're just proving to everybody, even to me right now, you're just a piggy rider. You're a piggy rider. So
piggy rider.
When you switch to the green and then you're like, oh, I changed my mind. I want to go back to the black team. You're dead to me. You're. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear your point. You're. If you switch to green, you stay on green.
It's whatever the show does. No.
If you switch to green, you're in green. That's it. As of right now, you're clearly green. So.
No. I said I'm black, but I said I'm probably gonna be green soon.
Bad Danny. Another key point that it was really important to the true fans, because Danny hasn't seen Game of Thrones ever. You suck. You should watch it. It's a really good show.
It's too long.
We went to Winterfell. It's only 8 seasons. Calm down. You've seen shows that have way more seasons. Let me finish my thought. We went to Winterfell. We went to the north. We went to see the wall. We obviously the first dialogue in the whole episode was Stark giving his speech to Jacaerys, and of course, Stark never fails. That whole line, perfect. He goes, "This is not like a burden. This is like an honor type of thing, bro." Beautiful dialogue. Of course, they're still struggling on not struggling, but like in the sense of like they're protecting the wall from whatever lies on north of the wall, and it's death.
What is north of the wall?
Watch Game of Thrones and you'll know.
He's like, we're protected from death, and I was like, what's over there?
I don't know. You should watch Game of Thrones and you'll see. You'll see on the first episode. The first episode, you'll see what happens. You'll see it. You'll see it. But whatever. I know you're not gonna watch it. You're not gonna watch it. So I'm gonna say it. So the White Walkers, they're like this magical, evil zombie type of thing. So the White Walkers are in the north. They're in the cold and whatever. And when they say winter's coming, that's what they mean. They're coming. Like the
Yeah, I
White
heard the
Walkers, all that
winter's
stuff.
coming line, and I was like, I know that's a famous line from Game of Thrones.
Bro, when they said it, I was like, that's famous. It's like when they say the car is on the very first episode of season 1, because we haven't heard that phrase since Game of Thrones. The car means like the dragon to spit fire,
Yeah.
and we haven't heard winter's coming in a very very long time. So hearing it from the starts again, it was very beautiful. Can we talk about the interaction that Rhaenyra and Jacaerys have when he comes back from doing her task? Like the whole sad
that
scene.
was sad.
When he's trying to give like the report back, but he was like breaking down.
Yeah,
like,
man, that was sad. Because he was like trying to hold it together. If he had just like ran to her, it would have been sad. But it made it way more sad that he was like trying to give the report, but like couldn't hold it together.
That was a very good scene. That whole sequence was beautiful. It was sad, emotional. Again, she still haven't spoken at that moment. A lot of words can be said on a moment of silence.
Yep, you can say a lot of words without speaking.
That beautiful. But yeah, I can't wait for next Sunday. Next Sunday, episode 2. The trailer came out as soon as the episode showed up. I can't. Oh my God, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Was that trailer just for episode 2, or was that for the rest of the season?
Episode 2. I think it's episode.
That was a lot. That's a lot to happen in one episode.
That's what I'm saying. Because I think it's just episode 2. If it's for the whole season, I can still understand it. But on the first season, whenever an episode finished, they'll show the trailer for the next episode.
Just for the next episode. It just seemed like so much was going on.
A lot of unless they show it a lot, or is a lot going on. So uno de las dos. But yeah, so Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, season 2 started last Sunday. We're gonna keep watching it. It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be. I'm so happy that we are getting the boys in House of the Dragons at the same time we're getting the Acolytes, because oh my God, the Acolytes.
Well, this is tough to watch, and it comes after our last episode where we talked about how episode 1 was really good, episode 2 was aight, and then we got 3 and 4.
Okay. I'm still a bit of a word saying that episode 1 and 2 was a pretty good start.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good start. I'm not saying that. I'm not taking it back what I said. Episode 1 and 2, pretty good start. Episode 3,
Fell off a cliff.
Oh my God, that.
Oh, first thing. I know
not
people are
even
talking
talk about episode 3 because
and we'll talk about it.
I have nothing
but
good
the
to say
whole
about
thing
episode 3.
with the whole thing. There's okay, but like everyone's talking about the witches and the Force and how they were born. Whatever. That's one thing. Okay, we'll talk about that in a second. But a problem that I already had to begin with is how are you gonna do a whole episode centered around a flashback that could have been 5 minutes, maybe 10, but you did the whole episode centered around this flashback.
Yeah, it was a lot of information that was very unnecessary information that we needed to know. All we needed to know, realistically, is why was the 4 Jedis there? What happened in the sense like in the conflict at the end of how the fire started. All we know is the fire started.
And we still don't even know how the fire started.
Exactly. So like honestly, I didn't care about the covenant of the witches. I didn't care about that. I didn't care how one of them got the mark and one doesn't. Like all that stuff could have been like again, like you said, like 2 second clips of the past or
Yeah, or
like
you
I
could
don't
have
know.
taken it out. The only thing that we needed to know that we actually got from this episode was why the four Jedi were there.
That's it because they were force sensitive and they were kids. That's pretty much it. And let's go to the biggest controversial topic about this episode is that when one of the Jedi's, Indira, I think that's her name was,
Endura.
goes,
Yeah.
"Where's the father?" They go, "There's no father." Okay, fine. Dad is dead,
Okay.
right? The dad died because biology doesn't lie, and you need a man or semen at least
mm-hmm.
to create life. Simple math. 2 + 2 = 4. Does not equal 6. So they came with this bullcrap, apparently, that they were created by the Force. Sort of, quote unquote, because she didn't say that, but it's very understood that that's what happened. And they don't use your Force. They don't use your Force. They use a thread.
The thread, yeah.
The thread.
The thread.
So they don't use the Force. Same thing, but they don't use the Force. Yeah, and people would think it's like, okay, but like, Anakin was the only person created from the Force that we know. Because
Yeah.
after this point, how many people were created by the Force? And people were kind of mad because that loses a lot of importance of why Anakin is the chosen one.
Yeah. The significance of the prophecy and the chosen one and all that stuff.
So, is Anakin really the chosen one? Is anything real of the prophecy? Like, can anybody could have done it?
Who knows?
Who knows? Maybe there's a bigger hole that we're missing. There must be something that we're missing, and maybe they'll explain it later on the show. But that was the biggest thing on episode 3.
That was yeah. It was. It just was not a good episode. It made Star Wars fans go from wow, this is not a good episode to wow, this is not just not really not a good episode. This just ruins Star Wars in general. Like it takes away from it maximizes not just from this is a bad episode, a bad show, but to then ruining the significance of things outside of the show. So you actually just made it worse. You dug yourself into a hole, Disney. Good job. That's what the mouse does.
That's what the mouse does.
But then whatever. Episode 3 trash. I don't have anything good to say about it.
Yeah,
Episode 4 comes.
It happened, it passed. Nothing really.
Episode 4 comes, I'm like, okay, what's gonna happen? Nothing significant. We get Star Wars, still not really any action, whatever. But something that made me mad was we get 3 episodes. Maybe I wouldn't count the 3rd episode because of the flashback, but kind of leading how we have the Master Evil One, whoever it is, and then we got the Apprentice Evil One, which is May. And then all of a sudden, she decides, you know what? I'm gonna be good. So basically, it just ruined everything that happened in episode 1 and 2. You have this Loki badass because she has all these daggers that she is very good with using. And I was like, okay, she's at least kind of menacing, even though her story is a little weird, whatever. But she's, at least as a fighter, she's kind of menacing. And it might be cool to see her fight again, because we saw her fight with Soul, and it was kind of cool. But she just randomly decides, you know what, I'm gonna be good.
I don't know. But I do have a theory. It may not be true at all, but I think that the bad guy, the main bad guy, is the merchant guy, the guy that she was with, like the guy with May
Whoa.
was.
You think
I
he's
think
the dummy? Like the I mean not the
the
dummy,
dummy
but
guy.
like
Yeah, that guy.
he's kind
I
of dumb.
think I don't know. I just got this weird vibe from him because I don't know. I just one, how did he get there so fast? Two, was he there already? Like the bad guy was there already, but there's a lot of missing points that I didn't get. And the only thing that I can think of that the main bad guy, the Sith or whatever you guys want to call it, is him. Because we don't know his face. No one has seen his face. No one knows who he is. So I think I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong because all my theories that I give in the show are wrong.
That would be a plot twist. I'm not saying I would like it, but it would be a plot twist.
It'll be a plot twist. Always something interesting. Because we didn't see him again when May trapped him. He was dangling. We didn't see him again after that. Last time we saw him was that, and then next scene is this guy is floating. Mary Poppins here. It was just floating, and the ending happened. Like he just say what you say about this character. This guy so far, pretty badass. Like the way that he just
yeah, I agree.
He just,
My fear is, and this is exactly what I was thinking for the last 4 minutes of the show. Was if he turns out to not be as badass as he looks,
yeah,
this show is a waste.
yeah.
This show is an absolute waste. Because I went from, I know, maybe I was too much on a high horse to thinking it was like an ancestor of Palpatine, or I don't know, maybe.
The theory is that he's his master. The theory is that he's his master.
Yeah, exactly. Which would be a complete badass.
Yeah.
But my fear is I'm so scared that it's just going to be a waste of a villain. We've already wasted a villain in May because now she's good. Boom, she's gone. So now you just got this guy, who I guess was the main bad guy all along. I'm surprised they showed him so early because, I don't know, I guess usually shows wait to the very last second.
They haven't really showed him. We just see...
But like he popped up in episode 4 when there's still a couple episodes left.
We saw him in the first episode. He was there in the first episode on the beach or whatever he was, or he just like with a lightsaber, just like.
But not like against, against people.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, so I agree with you. Like if they
just hope he's not wasted.
Just like nerf this character, like halfway this season.
Oh my gosh! If you nerf his character,
I'll be really. As of right now, if they make Osha, whatever her name is, as powerful or more powerful as the bad guy, this is my last Star Wars show ever. I'll quit Star Wars. I'll stick with the sequel, not sequel. Ooh, God forbid. The prequel and the original.
Okay, but they're kind of alluding to it though. She's
I'm letting you know right now. I'm quitting Star Wars.
I can sense stuff. I'm stronger than I was before. I'm this. I'm that. It's very possible they make Osha go against this bad guy as a big fight, and Osha wins.
I feel they're gonna team up. Osha and May. May and Osha, they're gonna team up and beat the bad guy. Because again, like you said, she's like sort of good now, or like trying to like turn herself in.
And it's like centered around their relationship.
Exactly. I'm already regretting watching the show.
I just want the more I think about this, the more I regret it. I look, and then I was so hyped last week or the week before because I was like, bro, we're gonna see a Wookiee Jedi. We haven't seen a Wookiee Jedi,
Bro,
bro. So
I was so
what a
excited
waste!
for that fight. Really excited for that fight.
What a waste!
And what happened to these trailers of the Wookiee fighting? So is that another? Are we gonna get another episode of another flashback? Another episode of more flashbacks? Can you move on with your story and not give us more flashbacks? If you want have flashbacks, you should have started back in there. Started back there and then move up to now. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna get another flashback.
I think that if they do another flashback, I think the next flashback should be what really happened with the fire. Because my theory is the Jedi made the fire worse. And they wanted to kill that little coven of wishes.
Yeah.
And they use the fire as an excuse to make it worse. And
Well,
I think
at least one of the Jedi did.
Yeah, I don't think Soul.
Yeah, probably not so.
I think it's either Kira, whatever her name is, or
Indara, or the guy that
or the Padawan. Yeah, I think those two characters has something, probably theory, bigger to do than what they say. Because the fire was only a small fire, and then everything gets destroyed. Everything got destroyed. So like either two things: either fire was like super duper on drugs, or someone made it worse. So that should be the next flashback, if they do one, which I'm pretty sure they're gonna do, because the Wookiee on the trailers was fighting, and we didn't see the Wookiee fight.
And we're happy. We're like, we're gonna get to see Wookiee Jedi,
and we.
Let's just be happy we got the boys and
House of the
House of
Dragon at the same time. Okay. Now we're done with the bad. I'm done with Acolytes. Until next episode. The boys. So if you saw the last episode, we did mention that we are going to do a new thing. It's called Unqualified Heroes Gaming, where we just sit down, play the game, and talk about the boys. We did it. Episodes dropping soon of 1, 2, and 3. We had a lot to talk about. I don't want to talk too much about it here because I want you guys to watch that episode because it's really good. It's just me, Danny, and Elu. You have seen them before here on the show. So that should be coming up either depending on when this drops. I don't know when this is gonna drop, but it's coming soon. It's gonna be only on YouTube. You just go to YouTube on Qualified Heroes. It's gonna...
You get to see how bad we are, we were at Fortnite that day.
We're horrible at Fortnite. We're not gamers, but we like playing games.
But
that's
man, we were
the
bad.
best
that
way
day.
that we can say it. Yeah, we're not ninja level of gamers. So little snippet of how we feel about the boys. Keep it coming. We love the show. Episode 1, 2, and 3. Beautiful. A lot of politics are into this season that is good, but kind of weird in a way that is like almost as similar as to what we're going through right now in real life. So like one of the lines that Danny said in the episode was like, "This is a real life parody, but in the more the realistic side of it." So So
I will say one more thing is I believe it was the director, showrunner, whoever it was, said this very next episode is the best performance of Homelander that we've ever seen. And that he should win an Emmy or any, whatever it is called, because of this next episode.
Interesting. We've seen Homelander. Anthony is a pretty good actor on controlling his like good and like acting up trying to be good and then like going crazy through his
Yeah.
head. Like, so like, I'm excited.
This
Tomorrow's
next
Thursday.
episode will be interesting. So be ready. That's all we got. So we talked about Star Wars. If you're done with it, let us know because we're done with it. If we're not, we'll still talk about it. But we're done with it on the inside. House of Dragons, go watch it, and we'll see what happens with Blade and the rest of the stuff. That's all for us. Unqualified.